But before I go, just a few soft things. My book, Embracing Gratitude in Grief, is yours at no cost at PastorJeffSpeaks.com, tab number 4, that says, My gift to you. The body mapping instructions are waiting at bwcdaily.com. Just click on Pastor Jeff and it's in there. Also at no cost to you. And just one more thing. My website now offers the opportunity for you to contact me for your grief consulting so that you can carry something on when you're ready to do the work. With that, this has been Be Your Best with Pastor Jeff, and I pass the virtual mic, virtual lecture over to none other than Shawnte Health Wells.
On the positive side,
Hey, listen, you guys, we got to all on mic. We got to give Pastor Jeff a nice Ric Flair. Miss 305 is in the building. You heard what he said. Miss Shawnte Health Wells. Coming through all the way from the MIA. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Hey, I'm saying we finna raise the roof. Hey, I got that health glow. What? Listen, Patty did her thing on this intro, did she not? Hey. Listen, y'all already know. It's Miami. I come from a party city. You get what I'm saying? They call us the Magic City. I can't tell you the other name that they call us down here, but I need you to understand this. Listen, we got that health glow. I got a special guest for y'all today. I am Shawnte Wells, Maybelle's granddaughter, the one who got me started down the health journey, the path. Listen, and this is the 100 Health Show. Listen, we talking real talk, real healing, and real solutions. And I got a special guest for you today. We came back for part 2 since we ran out of time. See, I love when I have guests, y'all, because like when I tell you, like the conversation gets so juicy. And if you guys have ever heard her melodious voice, you'll know, like, it's just such yummy. She speaks such yummy but transformative things. And I love it's the same thing. We run out of time with the White Coat series with our resident BWC White Coat, Miss Natasha, nurse practitioner extraordinaire. But today, y'all, we bring him back because, August, I always think of dreams, and I really want you guys to think in the terms of the fact that this is the month of the dream anniversary. This is the month where we got to see a friend interject. Martin Luther King had a friend named Mahalia Jackson that derailed his entire speech, which is how we got that iconic speech called I Have a Dream. And so I love to make sure that we emphasize during the month of August health dreams. I love for us to get back to something that is so important. And I honestly, from my favorite book, Joseph was another dreamer. I love the interpretation of the dreams, and I just feel like there's a reason why dreams are mentioned in my favorite handheld library. That's what I call the Bible. Yes. So I really truly love to tie in, the emotional health with our dreams so that we can color outside our hurt. I love what our brother said and the exercises that we get to do. And listen, I've been walking through this journey since 2024, you guys, and I know that, emotional health is something that perhaps is not addressed enough, and it's an important component of health. So without delay, I wanted to make sure that I actually took the time to set the stage for part 2 and give our special guest, Miss Linnell Burns, an opportunity because she has something so phenomenal. And we're going to make some dreams for some kids come true this very month. Trisha's on my board and she pinned our link, and we're doing all that we can so that we can get some books in the hood in New York City. So I need y'all to understand this without delay. I am so excited about this opportunity to continue this conversation with Linnell Burns. How are you doing today, darling?
Well, Health Wells, how are you?
Woo! You know that's how I'm doing. I am fired up and I am ready and I don't want to delay. Yes, I'm so excited to talk to you. Yes, so I would love if you would just give us a quick reintroduction of yourself for those who may have missed our part one of our interview. I don't want to take for granted. So tell the people who you are real quick and let's get into it.
Absolutely. So my name is Linnell Burns. I am an identity and resiliency coach for women, and I help women get through the parts of their life where success is no longer enough.
So sorry, y'all. I was trying to pin the link, so I didn't want to let that opportunity to go by. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Liddell. So listen, y'all, I'm so committed to emotional health. Listen, I got this thing started with an interview by somebody with an interview with someone that's on stage when I really kicked off this series of emotional health, and that's GA. Y'all got to go and check out that live. And Miss Jules made an appearance during that interview, and I don't know if it's just something that, people shy away from or they say fooey like me when I used to do that about the whole concept of, oh, community, business community. Like, yeah, right. It's a real thing, Linnell. And I would love for you to bridge the gap for us as to how, like you were able to realize that dream of coloring outside of the hurt and how coloring, you told us last time about your son and the significance with the coloring there, but it also took you down a coaching path. It took you down a path, closer towards, a dream. And um I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about, that dream of that, of coaching, but not only that, of the coloring book and to be able to develop something so important for children and families. I would love for you to tell us just a bit more about that dream that you had.
Absolutely. And so, just to touch on the relationship with my son and why I started with the coloring books and why it led me into coaching was because my family was broken. I was a single mom at the time. My son was the only child that I had. And as he was growing up, he was a latchkey kid. And so a lot of the a lot of the things that he may have wanted to come to me for after school, he didn't have that opportunity because I was always working. And I was going through a really, really hard time in 2023 with him, and then also someone that I thought we were going to be getting married and, really getting that life that I was craving. And it didn't happen that way. And not to bash him, not to bash me, it just didn't happen. We were two good people, but this relationship wasn't good for us. And so instead of getting to a place of intense grief and not really being able to what was going on within me, I decided to start putting together coloring books. And I had never really had a vision of coloring books before. But during this time, I was trying to capture my thoughts. I was trying to really dig deep into what I was feeling and how could I express it without becoming explosive. And so I sat at my computer and I started developing these coloring books. What it was teaching me was that it was giving me back a part of myself that I felt had been lost over the years just being a mom. Well, not just being a mom, but being a mom and being in corporate America and giving so much time to the job and really missing out on the opportunity to nurture my son in the way I would have liked to, simply because I had to keep a roof over his head. And so as time progressed, I had two more children, their dad and I. We had a really, really good relationship up until it wasn't. And there are times in our lives as women where we are so committed to making sure that the family is taken care of, the bills are paid, the food is cooked, and all the things that we do as women, and we forget about ourselves. We forget that we need nurturing as well. We need someone who is going to be there in order to help us fill the gap, because no one else can fill the gap for us. We have to help ourselves first. And we can have partners that are there in order to do that. But the reality of the situation is nobody knows you like how you know you. And unless you share that information, you can really be trapped in your own mind. And so, as my other two children grew up, they were basically reared by their older sibling because, once again, corporate America, being in the workforce, you've got to commit so much time and energy. And this relationship was disintegrating right before my eyes, and I wasn't even aware of it. And so this was something that I felt that not only could I share with the world, but I could also help women understand that it is okay to rebuild who you are in order to pour out to the people that need you the most. And I'll turn it back over to you, Shawnte.
Ooh, I absolutely love that, Liddell. And you guys, like, I am a big advocate. Listen, my students get to bribe me with coloring, Linnell. That's how important this whole connection is to me. It's really a true form of therapy. It is a modality that I use a lot, and I'm so grateful that this was something that was able to usher in. And in essence, it was a way you were coaching your family through a painful point. And I think sometimes, like emotional pain, like it really truly, it's not that it erases our dreams, but it can like cover it up. I like coloring it in gray. And I think that when we have an opportunity to have conversations like this, and we have an opportunity to at least have something physical and kinesthetic. That's why sometimes if you notice, like sometimes when people get really upset, or if something, they're super agitated when they step outside or go for a walk, like sometimes it takes something physical, a physical act to change your state, to give you that in, to be able to get outside of the hurt, or to step outside of whatever that strong emotion that is probably not serving you best in that moment. And so I am really, really grateful that you went down this path. And people like myself and Tricia would be, greatly appreciative. For those of you who'd like to partner with us, Tricia is on the board of Books in the Hood, and we really truly want to support Linnell and also make some dreams come true for some children this very month. We have, a specific target that we'd like to be able to do for back to school at the end of this month, that will be taking place August the 29th, which is a day after the dream anniversary of August 28th. So we're super excited to be partnering with Linnell in this and getting those more of those books. And she's been so kind to bless us with some, prior to as well. So I am so grateful for this connection. And so, Linnell, I would love to give the audience an opportunity. I call this 21 questions. We'll open it up early and then we'll get back to some more questions that I have for you. But I like the stage, or those of you, if you're in the listening lounge, if you have a question or two or something that you'd like to say, now would be the time. This is what I call 21 questions. The floor is open.
Hey, Linnell, it's Rocky. Good morning. You say you produce coloring books, correct? Art for them?
Yes, yes, ma'am, I do.
I have a question because a lot of people they're using AI to create coloring books and stuff like that. Do you do that originally, or are you using AI for faster production? So I think that's something. Just what I'm thinking. I don't know if you teach people how to do that or not, but that's a huge market nowadays.
I appreciate that question. And no, I do not teach people how to do it. When I created the coloring books, I actually used AI. And it was because of this room that I started thinking about it as well. Um, Glenn was very intentional in talking about using AI tools and getting into that market at the time. And so those two coloring books were created by AI. One thing I will say, it is not a quick process when you're trying to put it together. And at least it wasn't for me. It might be for someone else. And so to answer your question, Rocky, no, I don't teach a class on it because my focus is actually coaching women back to their self. Um, I use the coloring books as a way for me to get my grief out, for me to be able to reconnect my mind to the things that were not sorrowful. Because what I learned in that time is if you keep on focusing on what you lost, you're not going to ever focus on what you can gain. And I didn't want to be in that space anymore. I didn't want to be in a space where I was grieving my family. I was grieving watching my kids grow up. I was grieving, all the things that I couldn't change. The only thing I could change was me and creating something that my family and we could both do together. So I hope that that answered your question.
Oh, I love it. So it's more like a supplement or a tool that goes along with what you're already doing.
Absolutely.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Awesome. I love that question. Anyone else? Questions for Linnell, comments, feedback? If not, we'll continue on. All right, let's keep this party going, or I should say this train going. Look at there. See, I'm thinking about partying and I should be focused on coloring. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Patty got me hyped with that song. Patty got me hyped. She got me hyped. So listen, I would love for us to go down this path a little bit further. And I heard you say, with corporate America and some of the things that you had to do, trying to survive. And I would love, to I would love your perspective on this because I think this impacts others. Like when we think about, people put down their dreams in essence, because they were trying to survive. Like and I think that in and of itself creates its own form of hurt. It creates, I think even people can grieve the life they wish that they had. So I'm curious to know, like, was there a specific dream that you put down while you were trying to survive, or did you ever wonder, like, what could your life look like, beyond that stuck point of trying to keep a roof over, the family's head? Because I believe like somebody may be at that point. Somebody may be looking at their life or their business and wondering, like, or maybe they're about to put down their dream, or maybe they're about to just give in to the hurt or the frustration or a stuck point in business. And so I think sometimes when they know someone else has gone through something similar or have, some tools or maybe a few strategies to kind of guide them to get outside and get beyond the hurt. So I would love to know, is there a dream that you had to put down while you were trying to survive, and is there something, that you could recommend for us to do to get beyond that?
That's a great question. Thank you so much for that help. And yes, I did have another dream, and I was in corporate America. When I initially started, I started in customer service, like the call center. I worked for a major bank here in Connecticut, and I was in the call center, and then I worked my way up to the fraud department, and then I had worked my way up to um, a subject matter expert, and I started training different call centers around the country. And so, as I was living this life, I realized that I was making good money. I had a lot of overtime because I was a non salaried professional. But what I realized was this was no longer what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't want to just be training on products and services that I didn't really believe in anymore. I wanted purpose in my life. And so I've wanted to be a coach for a long time. Most of my friends have always said to me, "Oh my gosh, you should be a motivational speaker, or I speak to you, and you let me see things a different way." And so I had coaching in my blood since then. But once again, in order to keep the lights on, I kept on going in the profession that I was in because it was more glamorous to say I was a trainer with a major bank and I traveled from here, there, and everywhere, and they paid for my accommodations. It's much simpler to say that I'm pursuing the dream of my employer than I'm pursuing my own dream. And so I would say that for anyone that's in that limbo period, sit down and really sit with yourself in that moment and ask, does this serve me anymore? Because you can have a dream that is wonderful for the place that you are in life at that moment, but sometimes that dream no longer fits the person that you are now, and you're just going through the motions. And what that causes it causes an interruption, not just for yourself but for the people who could have been attached to your dream, the people that you could have helped while you were pursuing the thing, the title, the accolades, but yet your spirit man was not involved in it. Your physical body was involved in it, but your spirit man was not. And so not only are you cheating yourself, you're cheating the people who would have received the ultimate value of you stepping into the dream as opposed to just doing what you have to do. And I do hope that answered the question that you had, Health. Turn it back over to
Absolutely. I'm curious, is there anyone on stage? Is there a dream that you put down that maybe, it's time to pick up again? Just like, we pick up a crayon, just like we pick up a marker or a pencil, we practicing something powerful. You get what I'm saying? Like we're really truly we're making intentional choices again when we color. So I would love to know, is there anyone on stage that may have put down a dream? It could have been it could be a health dream. It could be a family dream. It could be something, a small minor dream, but was there a dream that you put down that, that you'd like to pick back up again? Floor's open.
Hi, it's Natasha. Yeah,
Good morning,
great
Natasha.
conversation. Time when I was, going to school and then also working. I wanted to be a speaker, and so I put that down. And, getting distracted by what is surrounding me today, and sometimes it still seeks that in. But I'm staying focused because this is something that keeps tugging at my heart. So yeah, I was one of those people, but today I'm not. Thanks.
Woo! Can we give Natasha a Ric Flair gif? Absolutely am loving this conversation. You guys, just to give you just a bit more motivation to really truly lean in to what Linnell is saying. And I really hope that we can also tap into what Pastor Jeff is saying with Be Your Best with Pastor Jeff, and what the message that Patty also has with this grief, and even the grief of our dreams, y'all. This has an effect on our immune system. I ain't telling you about what I heard. I'm telling you about what I know. You can look this up on the NIH. This is why I'm a big believer in gratitude, and I love that this coloring book is about gratitude. But I need you to understand this. Do you realize when we stay at a stuck point? Let me know if you guys can't hear me because I'm getting a poor connection sign. Um, when we stay in that,
now.
okay, perfect. When we stay, um, there's in a certain state of, how could I say, like a high stress state, or a sad state, or there's a chemical cocktail that comes with that affects, actually lowers the reactivity to your immune system, meaning you have B cells. Look at them as like a club bouncer. Think about them like your top flight security. You know, you slow down the production of them. Like, and we need our body to constantly produce those. And it's things like that that are physiologically happening in the body. So I just want to make sure that I bridge that gap, that you understand this isn't some woo-woo. That I'm a big believer in having, things that we call active relaxation methods and tools and strategies. For some of you guys, your metabolism, is affected. Your energy levels aren't where they need to be because you're not dealing with this thing. You're not taking seriously your emotional health. You're not taking seriously the effect and the impact, not only that your immune system has. This is why a lot of times a person is more prone and open to getting sick and getting cold and flu viruses because they're all around us. Every single day we have an opportunity to get sick. But your immune system typically is firing at a certain point, Linnell. And so I really truly hope people will get the point of, this is important to your immune system. Having tools and strategies and being able to work with a coach or a counselor, or some type of clinician, to really help us move to that next, point. And I think it's important for us to not, suffocate that dream, because I think we can sit in quiet guilt around it, And I love a message. I hope you guys can go back. I want to say this was 1 or 2 years ago, Dr. Jeannie, that you did this whole segment about tell them about the dream, Martin. And she really went down that track of, she does so great with that GPS system of getting to that dream, and having people in your immediate circle who will actually call out that thing that's in you. And me and Linnell are trying to help you color outside that hurt today so that you can call to that thing. So Linnell, I would love for you to think about 12-year-old, you think about a 12-year-old. Oftentimes they're a little nosy with my show, so they go back and they actually listen to my show. So what would be like a closing thought that you would say to 12-year-old you? What would you say to someone, that inner child within us, about coloring outside the hurt in our dreams?
I would say to a 12-year-old self is trust yourself. Trust that your dreams are valid. Trust that you are a difference maker in this world. And it's wonderful to have a job because you have the 9 to 5 income. But after 9 to 5, work on your dreams, work on the things that are important to you, because there is someone attached to your future that you may not even know is attached to you. And they may be watching you on social media. There may be something that you've said to them in a conversation that helps them to think differently. So bet on the fact that the God-given gifts that you have, they are not a mistake. And Health, I just wanted to say one thing as well. So I know that you have Books in the Hood, and this has been something that has really been on your heart. And I would love for the BWC family to hear me clearly when I say, if you decide to purchase any of these books, all proceeds will go to Books in the Hood. As a young child, I was very, very my parents gave me the gift of reading and coloring and really being in a book. A book can change a life in so many ways. And so, Health, it's my commitment to you that any books that are purchased through the BWC platform, all of these proceeds will go to Books in the Hood so that we can get more books out to your cause as well. And I'll go ahead and mute out.
Woo! Thank you so much. That takes me into, I was just about to get to the boom shakalaka moment. So listen, we're gonna give Linnell and her company a big old boom shakalaka. They have been blessing Books in the Hood since we were in Jacksonville. So I am so grateful for that opportunity. I can tell you, me and Trisha, we're delighted to hear this, because this will really, and Dr. Jeannie, who's also on our Books in the Hood advisory board as well. So I want to say thank you so much for partnering with us in this. And so I would like to give you the opportunity to tell us, who would you like to give a boom shakalaka to, or is there a cause or initiative that you'd like to give a boom shakalaka to?
Absolutely. And so I'm a big proponent of feeding children and making sure that they have enough on the plate, and still participating with food shares and local communities to make sure that not only are nutritious meals served to our children, but also for the families that cannot afford to put food on the table, that we are participating in helping them do so. So that's my cause, food share. And I'll go ahead and mute up.
Thank you so much, Linnell. You guys, this has been the 100 Health Show. So delighted for our special guest, Miss Linnell Burns. Can you just tell us really quick as we get ready to turn over this mic, how can people connect with you online?
Absolutely. You can connect with me on social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and also TikTok. And just to give you one more caveat, so I will be creating an audit. I actually created it, but then I started tweaking it, and I didn't like this and like that. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I've got to change it. But anyway, I'm going to be making that available to the BWC family as soon as that's done. I will let you know, and you can go ahead and share it with the audience members and the host as well. Thank you,
Awesome.
Shawnte, for the wonderful interaction today, and I will go ahead and mute up.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you, Ramon. We apologize for the minute, and we are turning this over. This has been the 100 Health Show. Listen, keep it 100. Go for 100 plus in your health. Ramon Ray, over to you, my brother. Woo!
Hey, Shawnte. We started this day, Shawnte, 5 a.m. I believe it was Pastor Jeff who opened, and I'm sure he did an amazing, amazing show. If it wasn't him, then I'll just give him the credit anyhow. Shawnte, we had Glenn Lundy's show. Of course, Heather Parody was in there at 5:30.